Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And I want to thank you so much for being here. And today we have to talk about what's on everybody's mind, especially with the social media. You guys know the houses, the cars, the money. But how many of you are thinking about the houses, the cars, and the money, and it's 20 or 30 years later? How are you going to pay for it? Well, today you want to retire early? I know that is the industry right now, but there's steps to this, ladies and gentlemen. And here's plans that you can create is going to be in this live stream, the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream, which is members only chat. That means members with the icon next to their name can be in the chat room and welcome. Stop struggling now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the $1 million question. Everybody's out here trying to retire early. Some people can achieve it, but keep this in mind. There's only about top 10% of the wealthiest. That's right. You're going to have to move into the top 10% of the wealthiest in order to retire early. But first, we got to talk about what does it mean to retire. I want you guys to give me some input on this. When you say retire, what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about working a job for 40 years, 50 years? Because if you're 20 years old, right about at 40-year mark, you're going to be 60. That's still maybe not good enough to retire. So therefore, you're talking about you're going to work 45 years, 35 years, or do you think retirement means you're going to work for 5 to 10 years and then be able to go off and I don't even know what retirement means, quite frankly. Let me know what you guys think it means, because people who are retired, they're not sitting around. You have to keep moving. You are gonna like and like to do things in life. So let me know, first of all, what you think retirement actually means. And we're gonna get into it today. But look who's in the house. The girly Lark is here, a new member of the channel. Thank you so much for being here on the Wednesday night live stream. That's the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream with members only in the chat room. Members with the icon are the only ones that can be in the chat room reserved for members only. So thank you so much for being in the house. Now let's get to it. I love it. Thank you so much for the tagline. I appreciate that. All right, let's see who else is in the house tonight. We have Victor Marrero here. He's in the house with the icon next to his name, which means it's SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. Welcome. And he has his tagline. He says, hello, all. And then he says, let's do this. That's right. We're going to do this, ladies and gentlemen, because there's a lot of people who are a little bit confused. Again, I wish I had open chat tonight, but unfortunately it's not, because I want to know. We have members of the channel with the icons, but I really, really want to know, whenever anybody sees this video, let me know what retirement means to you down below in the comment section after this is on under the replay, or right now tonight. Let me know what you think retirement means. I'm going to get into it once again. So that's the first steps of our equation. You want to retire early, and then I'm going to give you something to think about. Let's just say, because I have friends that retired early, is what I'll call early. What that means early, I'll give you an idea of early. 55, 56, 57, early. But they started one or two started work when they were 18. 18 plus 37, 38 years gets them to 55, 56, 57. Yes, they did it the right way, where they were saving money Every paycheck, the company they work for was matching some of their retirement funds. They did that for 30 plus years. Yes, because most of their portfolio was in equities, meaning the stock market. That means 10%, 20%, 15% a year, which are actually the average is actually about 9% per year. But I won't get into inflation and all that. But what I'm trying to say is they were investing a small amount because early on they were making less money. So as they grew and as their job uh, promotions grew, they get paid more. So then they could put more in the pot. So at first, a couple of hundred, but then in the end, like $1,000 every other paycheck. So damn near $2,000 a week for about 5 to 10 years. Big, huge differences. And actually, that's one of the keys right there. You just heard me give you one, but I won't give it under those circumstances as I'm telling the story. This is one way that you can do it. Now, what does retirement really mean? Because now you're in your 50s. You could potentially live another 30 easily. 30 years, and you divide 1 million by 30 years, now you have a little problem because the math is not going to equate to what you need to have happen. Because now, can you just retire? I haven't ran the numbers on 30 years. If you live 30 years, I know what happens if it's 20 years. That means that's the equivalent of $50,000 per year. Right now, can you live off of $50,000 per year without earning any more money? Well, here's what the saddest part is, that a lot of people who think retirement's going to be easy, even when you have a number like $1 million plus, you're not thinking, oh, wait a minute, I actually have to budget this. Nor are you thinking about your expenses, nor are you thinking about inflation. You're not thinking gas is going to be another dollar per gallon. You're not thinking that your groceries are going to be double. You're thinking in today's economy. So, let's call it 2010, where people were renting, retirement people, they're loving life. They're going, man, I have this house that I'm renting for $1,200 a month or $1,000 a month. I have a 2 or 3 bedroom condo apartment and I'm renting, and it only costs me $700-800 per month. Fast forward 12 years, all of a sudden, all those numbers are double. All right. Never mind about the food. Never mind about your money that's sitting there is eroding because there's 5%, 10%, 15% inflation. So you're thinking retirement's going to be easy. I have the $1 million. But then when you break it down, you're going, wait a minute, I can only spend $50,000 a year, or I have to use my retirement funds to take a risk. Meaning, because inflation is 10, 15, 20% or more, now where am I going to get this extra money from? Okay, I'm going to be a Walmart greeter. I'm going to go down and do some extra. I'm going to do a side hustle. I'll do, how many retirees are out there right now that are doing Uber and Lyft, right? They're making extra income because they realized, wait a minute, I'm making $50,000 a year, even at $1 million savings. Now, to get to $1 million savings is very hard in itself. But then once you get there, then you realize you can only spend 50,000 and you'll run out at 30 years. And if you're like most people who say, well, I have this $1 million, I'll spend 50,000 on a car, go pay cash. I'll go down here and we'll go on a few vacations. And next thing you know, you spent 70, 80, $100,000 in retirement. Now you have to start, you're down to, I'll use $1 million. You're down to 900 grand your first year. You still have another 30 years to live. Now you've also changed your equation on how much money you have. So here's the funny part. So when we talk about retiring early, check this out. I'm going to divide this by 30 because I don't know what the number is, but that is $33,000 per year. If you live 30 years, you want to retire early and you say, hey, I got $1 million in the bank. I'm only 40 years old. I'm retiring. Well, you're going to live another 30 years. That means you only have $33,000 per year to use. in order not to run out. Or you're going to have to give your money to somebody to manage and hope they don't steal it from you. Hope that there's no down years. Hopefully there's at least some sort of increase, but you're still going to be behind the eight ball because inflation is going to generally be higher than what you're getting on your returns, safe returns. I'm not talking about risky stuff. I'm talking about safe returns where somebody says, well, index funds, 9% annually. But if inflation is 15%, you're still going to run out of money if you retire early. So it sounds good to retire early, but what do you have to do? Because if you were say, I'm 35, I'm done. No, you're not. 40, I'm done. You may not be either. 30 years means 33,000 a year. And I'm going to use the example again. In 2010, 33,000 a year might have been manageable because, again, a roof over your head, less than 1,000, maybe even less than 1,500. But when you start adding up the numbers, that's still 16, 17, 18,000 just for that. Never mind your groceries. Never mind you want to go out and have some fun, because what's retirement without having some fun? What does that look like? You're retired, but you can't just go and do what you want. Then what's the point? That's not retirement then, is it? But most people aren't thinking long term. That's why you need more money. And the other part is nobody knows what's going to happen 10 years from now, right? So that's why there's steps to it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's see. We have Professor Auntie Val in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. And she says her tagline, good evening, fam. And she has the heart, the strength, and the support. And it looks like I have something over here on my sleeve. Can't figure out what that is. All right. But nevertheless, we still rolling. And once again, Professor Auntie Val, the one that gave us the #1 investment opportunity of 2021. And that's the reason partially why she's called Professor Auntie Val. Study, giving us knowledge and information. And that's what you get here in the SSN Academy, SSN University. Oh, I know I scared a few of you. SSN Academy, SSN University is free, ladies and gentlemen. You're in it right now. Welcome. Let me know what you think. All right. Thank you so much, Auntie Val, once again for being here. And that reminds me about something else. Victor Marrero, he's in the house, and he says retirement to me means getting my time back. Very well said. To do that, you must decide the type of lifestyle you want. Having a sense or purpose is important. Helping others will do the trick for me. Agreed, Victor Marrero. That's what I like to do as well. That's why I started the Stop Struggling Now channel, and we have the SSN Nation, and you're part of it, giving us knowledge as well. So I want to thank you very much. You're already on your way, and he's already made steps. If you've been around, Victor Marrero has been candid. He says some of his investments and what he's done, and you'll see it's diversification, which means real estate, stocks, rental properties, also, which goes with real estate. Then you do a lot of other things where you have income coming in, which is another point I'm going to be making tonight, because you can retire earlier if you have already put things in place, assets in place where you have passive income coming in. How do you do that? We've been talking about it for 3.5, 4 years almost, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. People don't like to hear the dirty truth when they say, hey, you know what? You're going to have to put money away and make investments over 10 years, 15 years. They're going, that's not early enough for me. I don't want to do that. Plus, the way the economy's going, like this gas, it's gone up from $2.60 to $3.40. Food is doubled. I don't really want to put any money into stocks. What's it going to do for me? What's $400 or $500 going to do for me? Well, that's not it, ladies and gentlemen. You have to stop thinking that way. If you want to retire early, you're going to have to start realizing that $400 or $500, that could turn into thousands of dollars down the road. So if you said, hey, I'm going to put in $400 or $500 every 3 months, I'll use a number like 500 to make it simple. Every 3 months, roughly about $165 a month. That's it, right? So we do 500 every 3 months. At the end of 4 times 3 is right? So that's $2,000 a year. But most people will say, I don't, that's not a lot of money. I can't retire on that. But if you just all of a sudden was saying, well, I'm 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, next thing you know, you go from 18 to 30, that's 12 years. 12 times 2,000, you might say, Eric, that's only 24,000. Well, there's options that you had in life that you may have taken. Like, I'll give you an example. You could have bought Tesla in 2008, 2009, only $7 to $10 a share. You could have bought 100, 200, 300 shares at 2007, 2008, 2009, right? All those years. You could have 1,000 shares at $850 a share now. Did you not hear me? 1,000 shares at $850 a share means you have $850,000. So when somebody tells you, hey, what's this 200 or what's this 300 going to do me? It's not short term, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to retire early, another key is you're going to have to make steps now. You're not worrying about, okay, it's going to take me how many years to get there, but what's retirement early means is the question, because a lot of people are confused, in my opinion. I call retirement something different, and I'm going to tell you what that is after we get a few more people, because retirement to me means getting my time back. And Marrero has hit up on my whole case of retire early. You are giving up time when you are working at a job. There's nothing wrong with that. But that is actually what retirement to me, you guys are getting a little early on this, what I'm going to talk about, what retirement means, because time is something that you can't get back. So if you can sit there and say, you know what, I have the financial wherewithal to be able to use my time how I see fit, that's part of retirement, right? Because ultimately everybody says, well, I need $1.5 million. I need $2 million. I need $10 million. Then I'll feel good and I can retire. Well, when you're going to get started with that plan? Or are you going to go like Bill Gates, for instance, the guy that says that has Microsoft? And when he started off, he was just trying to help people. He was just trying to get computers going. He says, I like Windows. You know, Jobs says, I like his iOS system. So then they both went down their own paths. They were thinking like geeks, engineers. They weren't going, this is what I'm starting right now so I can be a multimillionaire or billionaire. They were trying to solve a problem to help people. They thought we're going to make computers, make people's lives easier. Then it turned into, wait a minute, somebody comes and says, you can turn this into personal computers with the software that you have. Why don't you give it a shot? They said, that's pretty cool. Let's give it a shot. But he never figured on retiring early. He never figured on, I'm going to make billions of dollars. That wasn't his plan. So see, that is another one of those things that people don't think about. They're sitting there thinking there's a plan. Some people didn't have a plan to begin with, but you need to make money. You know that. That's part of the retirement plan, right? All right, Stella Luna is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream where it's members only chat. Those with the icon next to the name, like Stella Luna, another new member. Thank you so much for always supporting and being here. And good evening, everyone, and blessings. Blessings to you as well. Thank you very much for being here. Again, anybody within the sound of my voice who's in the chat room tonight, let me know what you think retiring early means. Because the key is retiring early, not retiring. Because again, I think most people think about retiring as in 60 years old, 65 years old, 70 years old. That's what I want to know. What's retiring early mean to you? Because that time that Marrero was talking about, the time that I'm talking about, and when I've made videos talking about Superman and Superwoman, that is why I talk about retiring early. Because when you're 18 to about 35, you feel the most invincible ever. You can jump tall buildings in a single bound. You cut your skin, it repairs itself in days, if not hours. All right. Your whole chemical makeup, you are Superman and Superwoman at a certain age. You start declining in your late 30s, 40s, in certain areas. You're not going to be able to jump those buildings in a single bound. You're not going to be able to just go out there and do the athleticism that you used to do before. You're going to have a decline. So I ask you, wouldn't you rather retire earlier? Because we still have to figure out what retire means. Wouldn't you like to retire earlier when you can do the incredible, seemingly the impossible? Because when you are 60 and 65, let's not fool around here, ladies and gentlemen. You know you can't do what you used to do when you're 25 or 35 at 65 and 70. Come on, let's get real. I don't care how much you work out at the fitness gym. I don't care how much yoga you do. I don't care what you're talking about you're eating. There is no way on the planet it's not humanly possible. So, do you want to go around and have free time when you are Superman and Superwoman, or do you want to have free time when you're older and you have more aches and pains? Maybe even medical conditions. Keep that in mind as well. All right. So, there's such a thing as time versus reward, is the way I look at it. All right. So, let me go. Lean fire versus fat fire. Which one is the best for you is the question. You have to be realistic and manage expectations. Victor Morero, that's exactly right. Expectations. And that's what we do here in the SSN Nation. And that's why I wanted to have a conversation this evening, because there's steps to this and there's plans that you can create, like down below in the description. Get your free stocks from Robinhood and Webull. Let's just call it what it is. In fact, I'm going to put this on the screen, and I can't use a background for this, but I'm still going to put it on the screen. This is something I've used before. Members of the SSN Nation, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this pretty well, but bottom line is, what assets make up wealth? And the bottom line is over to the right. That is generally where you want to be. The blue, the light blue, and then the lightest of the blue. Those are the three things where the wealthiest, as you increase your wealth, the right side grows. All right. And that is something to pay attention to. There is a playbook, but how many people are sitting here talking about that playbook when they're sitting around the dinner table when they're 8 years old, 10 years old? That's not everybody, especially when you know, again, the top 10% of the wealthiest own 89% of the stock market, right? So here's the funny thing. A lot of you may be sitting here saying, hey, Eric, what can I do? Well, number one, a business. Now, let's keep real. That is the largest blue amount at the bottom of the scale, at the very bottom. That right there, starting a business interest. Now, keep in mind, you may not have to start the business. You can buy into a business. You can earn equity in a business. Your hard work. You can get into a business, join a business, become a partner, be on the board. There's all kinds of things you can do, but you're going to have business interests, which now gives you passive income. Now, it's not for the faint of heart, because bottom line, 9 out of 10 businesses are going to fail. It might not do it the first year failure, maybe not even the second, but when we start going 3, 4, 5, 9 out of 10 have folded. So it's not just that easy. So therefore, notice on this chart how it starts out when they only have a wealth of 100K. Look how small the dark blue is on the far right. Business interests are not that big. You know why? Because you're not making a lot of money as you go on through life. Like normally, by the time you're 22, 23, most people will not be making $150,000 a year from a W-2 unless you have specific skills. Now, the majority of people are going to be making much, much less, 40,000 or less. All right. So now you don't have a way. You can't sit there and say, you know what, I want to start a business, because you don't have the necessary funds that's going to be needed. You're not going to have 100,000, 70,000, 50,000 to pour in to start a business that's going to be off the ground successful. So therefore, what do? You're going out here buying debt. What do I mean by debt? You're buying houses to live in, not to rent, but to live in. So therefore, there's a huge difference. So therefore, your money that you're using that you could use for your early retirement, you're sitting there going, man, I got a mortgage. I got to pay that every month. And everything that's associated with the mortgage, you got to pay. So notice on the left side is liquid cash. Next to that is primary residence in the dark orange. And then, unbelievably, vehicles is in the orange. All primary residence and vehicles and liquid cash, all those are worthless. And some people might be saying, hey, Eric, what do you mean by worthless? Well, I shouldn't say exactly worthless. What I'm trying to say is liquid cash, you're losing buying power due to inflation. Primary home, you're sitting there paying into a home that you live in. So that means if you stop work, you lose your house. So that's why I do not consider it an asset. All right. Next up is vehicles. Again, they depreciate, except in this last 2 years, there's an anomaly. But traditionally and like all the time, they depreciate. Therefore, once again, you're paying for something that's not returning any money, but that is your playbook generally. So therefore, you can't retire early because your playbook is based on buying debt and paying for that debt instead of paying and putting your money into something that generates income. So they have you all twisted around. Get your kids, by the way. Get your picket fence. Get those kids. Well, nobody ever sits down and tells you, hey, how much kids cost. They don't sit out here and say, hey, a box of diapers is $120. They don't sit there and say baby formula or how you're going to feed the children, even at a baby age. They don't sit there and say this is $20, $25. They don't say clothes or $25, $30 each. They don't talk about any of that. They're just like, go ahead, get all this stuff that returns no money to you. So how can you retire early? Therefore, the playbook. One of the playbooks, and the keys are start a business, get a side hustle. You need extra money, ladies and gentlemen, which is playbook number 2. You have to have extra streams of income or extra income coming in because you can use that extra income. So let's just say you have these debt objects, liquid cash, a home that you live in and pay for, and you have vehicles. All those you have to pay for. So some people have $2,000, $3,000 per month just in that. Think about this. What if you could have put that $2,000, half of it, into an investment vehicle, such as stocks? That's one of them. And nowadays you can do crypto, right? Think about that. Or what if you'd have went down and said, you know what, I'm going to go buy a car that I'm going to use on one of these rental platforms for $2,000 or $3,000, right? So now you have revenue coming in to help pay for these other assets or other liabilities. But what if you don't have those liabilities or minimize those liabilities from the get-go, and you're able to put more into long-term type of investments where now you sat right there and just 5 or 7 short years ago, in fact, not even that. Let me give you guys something to think about here. 3.5 years ago, we were doing a live stream, and I'll go into crypto. Get your free $10 of crypto from a free $10 of Bitcoin from Coinbase. The link is down below. The free $5 of Shiba and Dogecoin or XRP from Webull. That link is down below. Get your free stocks from Robinhood and Webull. Also down below are the links. Now, crypto, we were doing a live stream 3.5 years ago. And that's when Bitcoin went up to like 8,000, 9,000, dropped all the way to 3,000, 3,500, somewhere in there. Ethereum was about $150. Sitting here on the live stream, I'm talking about it and I'm saying, hey, now is a good time to buy in. Other people were sitting there saying, are you crazy? Some people were saying, now's a good time to buy in. Now, fast forward 5 years, 3 years, 3.5 years later, now those same people who could have bought in for three, they now have Bitcoin at $40,000, 45, whatever it is now. Ethereum's at 25, 2,600, 3,000, whatever it is now. You had an opportunity, but again, you weren't thinking about it. You were sitting there thinking, okay, I need to buy these debt instruments. I need to worry about getting more and more credit so I can get more and more debt. Now you're paying all your money towards debt when in fact you got to switch it up. If you could have paid 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 into anything, stocks or crypto, you would be far, far ahead in only 3 years, 4 years. Think about that. So it wouldn't have taken you 20 years or 30 years, but just redirecting your funds, because your bullets, think of money as bullets, weapons of mass destruction. This is how come the top 10% get to rule the world, because they're using their weapons of mass destruction known as dollars, financial interest, businesses, and they're invested in traditional businesses that people need: insurance, banks, right? Automobile companies. Now you have an opportunity to invest in electric vehicle companies. This is something new. The suppliers of those electric vehicle companies. You have an opportunity right now before your very eyes if you want to retire early. Okay, let me see what else we got going on here, because I know this is a good subject matter tonight. Good evening, Mr. Bird and SSN family. Is Wilson Koo. Mr. Koo Man is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream, members only chat, and he has the icon next to his name. Thank you so much. His tagline's in tow. As I've already said, good evening, Mr. Bird. Good evening to you and the SSN family. 100% facts. I sell money, and we'll get into Mr. Koo helps you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, he offers debt vehicles, but now think about this. There's a lot of you right now who may be 20 years old, 25 years old, 30 years old, and you're going, man, I want to retire early. And you're sitting there going, I don't see how I can do that. How about one of these things in your playbook arsenal? Real estate is already on tap. That's one of your plans that you need to get: passive income real estate, not the real estate that their banks are telling you to get, the mortgage guys are telling you to get. Not that, because that's debt going out of your pocket into the top 10 percenters' pockets. All right? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen, right? So if you turn this around and you said, hey, you know what? Instead of me buying a house right now, early on, why don't I go down here and go look for some properties? And then you're sitting there saying, well, I can't really afford these properties. But then that's because you didn't know that there was a person like Mr. Koo, Wilson Koo, who does lending and loans. And you also didn't know that you could have went down there and found a property and you're going, doggone it, this is in the perfect location. I like it. Everything makes sense, but the thing needs rehab. Now I'm going to have to go out here and get an investor. And how am I going to get an investor when I'm a nobody? I'm going to walk into somebody and say, hey, man, I found a 25-unit apartment complex. I'm 25 years old. And I said, hey, that apartment complex is going to gross us, I'll use some numbers, $100,000 a year. And I can buy that thing for $500,000, but it needs like $150,000, $200,000 rehab. How is it going to look when I'm walking around going, hey, I need $300,000 or $200,000 plus I got to get rehab money too? Who's going to give me that money? Nobody, right? But then you're here in the SSN Nation and you find out Wilson Koo has that type of a loan, 100% loan, ladies and gentlemen, for the after value. After it's hooked up, after you have rehabbed it, they will give you loans for the rehab money. They will give you loan for the down payment. After everything is fixed up, there's going to be a higher value. That's right. You heard me correctly. Hopefully I'm speaking English. So therefore, there is no barrier to entry. That's what I like to specialize in, except for you're going to need some sort of credit. I don't know what the credit will be. Probably 680. I'm guessing maybe they want you in the 720, but somewhere between 680 and 720. So that's why you need to go contact quickeasyfunds.com. Wilson Koo, Quick, E as in Eric, Z as in zebra, funds, funds.com. Or you can send me a message at support@stopstrugglingnow.com, and I will forward your information, email to Mr. Koo. You guys got it? Isn't that simple? But see, they don't want to tell you that it's that simple. They want you out here buying debt, because once you buy that apartment complex, now you are using other people's money to buy something, first of all. Second of all, now you have passive income coming in. And let's just say we are going to make $100,000 a year, but we have to pass off. Our guys wanted, let's say they want, I'll use some crazy number, 13% annually, right? Okay. So you're going to have to pay them $13,000 a year. The other 87, well, I'll even round down. The other 85,000 of profit, that's 7 G's a month, goes in your pocket. Now you don't mind going down, renting, or buying a home, because now you're using that revenue to go out here and pay for these debt vehicles, such as a house. Now you can go down to the house and say, okay, I can afford $2,000 a month, $2,500 a month on a mortgage, and I'm using my property to pay for it. That is like retiring early, because now you started your business / real estate, and now you have revenue coming in, profits coming in, and you use that to buy your toys. Now you can go out here and say, yeah, I want a $50,000 car. Sure, I'll pay $700 or $800, whatever it is a month. I don't know. But you have the money from your property to pay for it. And you have extra money left over that now you can implement plan number 2, stock market, for instance, dividend funds that's earning 10, 12, 13% on your money. You don't mind putting in $500 a month or $500 every 2 weeks, whatever you want to do, or $1,000 a month, or whatever you want to do. At the end of 5 to 10 years, you're going to be able to retire, what they say, early, right? Because you have revenues coming in. You have money stacked. You have dividends coming in. Instead, they have you flipped upside down. They have you buying debt instead of focusing on buying assets. And that's what we do here. We focus on assets, ladies and gentlemen. And Wilson Koo helps with all of this. All right, let's see who else is in the house. Let me know what you guys mean by retire early. Fire community, Wilson Koo, evening, Victor M, Auntie Val, Professor Val, Stella L, thank you so much for the love, Wilson Koo. Victor Morel, Wilson, good evening, sir. That's the love around here in the SSN Nation, ladies and gentlemen. Koo man in the house, says Professor Auntie Val. Brian P, a long-time subscriber, first-time member. Thank you so much for being here in the house in the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. And now he's in the members only chat with the icon. Thank you so much for your support. I humbly appreciate that. And he has become a new member of the channel, and he's always been here with the support all along. So thank you so much for that. Vanessa, Gates in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream with members only chat. Hey, boss and SSN fam, retirement means I own my time. Exactly right, Vanessa Gate. We're going there because you and Victor Marrero are talking about your time. And that is what people do not understand. That is the very important ingredient. You're out here working. Again, most people think I work 8 to 5. That's what they're thinking in their brain, 8 to 5. You're not working 8 to 5, okay? You guys know how I feel about this. I've been telling my friends for years, you're not working 8 to 5. You're not working 40 hours a week. And they're looking at me like, what do you mean? My paycheck says 40 hours a week. And I said, okay, well, my paycheck, according to what I talk about, what time you wake up to get ready to go to work? Oh, I wake up about an hour before. Okay, are you counting that hour before? Okay, what time do you get home? Well, after traffic, 45 minutes to an hour. Do you count that? That's 2 hours free, 2 hours for free while you're going to and from work. Okay. How much? Oh, that's right. You got 1 or 2 kids, right? Okay, well, who takes care of the kids while you're at work? Oh, I got to pay childcare. What? Childcare? You mean like $350 a week? What are you talking about here? No, 500 a week. No. So the thing is, are you counting that too? So basically, for you to go to work and you have a child, you're paying to go to work. That's literally what it is when you really think about it, right? You're sitting there and they're saying, hey, give us $300 a week for the childcare, but you have to go to work. Are you counting that too? How many hours does it take for you to get to 300? Is that 10 hours? Is that 12? Is that 15? I count all of that. And a lot of people don't think like that, but that's what I always thought about. I was like, wait a minute, it's costing me money either way. Is that part of my work? No, they're not paying me 300 extra because I have childcare to deal with. You see what I'm saying? If you really start thinking about it, you are spending a lot of money just going to work. So hopefully that may have incentivized some people to think about, hey, wait a minute, where's this passive income stream coming in? So therefore, time is measured differently when you start thinking about, is this retiring early thing really for me? Because you're going to start realizing, wait a minute, that means I need more time. That means I need to free up time. The only way you can free up time is basically making more money. All right. If you're not a trust fund kid, then time means you need to make more money. And that by having more money, that frees up your time. And as Akamagate says, you need real estate, and I like service-oriented businesses. Exactly. So here we are, SSN Nation. She's on track. Marrero's on track with the comments because, again, you're going to need businesses. You're going to need real estate. And, again, what does retiring early mean? There's steps to this. Here's plans that you can create. I've given you some plans and playbooks. We're giving you ways to do it. And then some of you, just gave you the real estate scenario where even in 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when I was doing real estate heavily, I would tell people, hey, all you have to do is find the property. Just like right now, I'm telling you guys, you can find property. And if it makes sense financially, that's what an investor does. You go in and you say, hey, somebody tells you this property is worth $2.5 million. Then you tell them, you go look at the books and you go, okay, let's just say it's an apartment because that's the easiest one. Let's just say it's a 200 unit apartment and they want 2.5 mil. And you find out of the 200 units, only 164 units are being rented out, roughly 80%. Okay. So then what do? You go find out the occupancy rate for rentals in that city. That's number one. Okay. So then you go look and you're like, wow, in the Houston, Texas area, this is a long time ago, it used to be around 89%. So now you know the apartment complex is underperforming based on the numbers. So instead of 164, they should be around 180. You put another 16 units online, that means the bottom line increases a certain amount. So now it's up to you to determine if it's 2.5 million or not, right? That's what it's worth. So now after you say, well, wait a minute, if we can get it up to just the normal occupancy rate, adding another 16 units, and we're charging an extra, let's call it, today's numbers are going to be different than before, but let's just say it's $1,000. That's an extra $16,000 in profit per year, let's say. That's a number that increases the value of your property. So if it's worth 2.5 with 164 units rented, how much is it worth if 180 plus units are rented? That means it's worth more generally if it's already been appraised at that number. So now you're like, damn, all we got to do is get more people in there. 6 months to a year later, we can refi it, pay out our investors, because now the property is worth 3 million to 3.2. They get their money back. Bank gets their money back. We're rolling now. That's an operation that you can do to this day, except this day you have different people that can help you. Wilson Koo can help you. I know investors that would be interested in something like that too, to help you with the down payment, interest only for a year. It's not that hard, but the key is most people don't have access to the people like Wilson Koo or myself who's willing to provide the details for free in the SSN Nation, SSN Academy. And that is why a lot of people sell information, because they don't want to give you the information for free to help you. They want to get some money off of you. And then, even then, they won't have the people necessary. All right. So I won't even get into another story that I have, but we'll get into it another day. Brian P. Hello, Eric. Hello to SSN family. I'm ready to learn and make some money. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here to learn, because always learning is key, ladies and gentlemen. There's plans to this that you create, and that is one of the keys right there. Always willing to learn, no matter even how minuscule it is. Like I said, I'll give a story. We have new people here. I'm walking up my stairs to an apartment 20, 30 years ago. A guy comes up to me, lives in the same apartment complex as me, and he says, "Hey, Eric, you have 2 cars, and I know you can afford another car. So I'm about to lose my car because I'm behind on payments." Well, back in the day, if you had a car repossessed, you weren't able to just go down and get another car like you can do today. Back then, repossession on your credit meant you're not getting a car unless you go see Cal. And go see Cal means you may have an interest rate of 26, 27, 28, 29%. We'll give you a car, but you're going to be paying over 20% because you effed up. So I didn't know this at the time, but anyhow, I get up to, I tell the guy, nah, I'm good. I don't need like another car or nothing. And then when I got up the stairs, put my key in the door, and I was like, wait a minute, how many other people need this help? This could be a thing. People may have heard of the Auto Trader. So I went and put an ad in the Auto Trader. Can't make your car payments? Need help? We take over payments. The other side. Bad credit? Can't buy a car? Need help? We can help you. I put this quarter-page ad in the Auto Trader magazine. That's what they had at the time. They may still exist. All of a sudden, the phone started ringing off the hook. Both ways. People were like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I thought I was going to have bad credit for 7 years. You mean somebody can take over payments and save me from this? Yes, I do. And then people would call up going, oh my God, are you serious? I can get something that's relatively 2 or 3 years old and I can just take over payments? Yes, you need a down payment though. That's where the business comes into play. People had to put money down because we need security, right? People have already messed up on their credit. So what do we need? We need security. So they're going to have to put down at least 3, 4. That was all profit, ladies and gentlemen. And what else is beautiful is I didn't own the vehicle. I didn't have to transfer paper because back then the rules allowed you to take over payments and insurance allowed you to insure any car. So no matter who it's registered to, you didn't have to live at the same address either. So it was simple. Then, of course, they changed the rules because the banks and car dealers and car companies, they relied on repossessions. That's part of their economic plan. They repossessed the vehicle. You paid all this money, whether it's to the lien holders or whether it was the down payment at the dealership. The ecosystem for them was simple. They have derivatives because they have a contract that you sign. So one of these people can go out here and we sold 10 cars and those 10 cars are worth $300,000. Now they go down and get instant payment of $150,000 or $125,000. They don't have to wait on the payment plan. It's a whole big thing. And then they go, ha, 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 laughing, going, we get to repossess X amount of cars. Guess what? The money you already gave is gone. They repossess the vehicle, then they turn around and sell the vehicle to make money again. And that's when they said, oh, Eric, you're taking billions of dollars out of our pocket. Yes, I know. That's the plan. That's exactly the plan. And they said, we got plans for you. We're about to change the rules, buddy. All right. Anyhow, keep in mind, You never know what information might trigger something in your brain that you might say, man, I could do this or I can do that. So that's why you always have to learn. Stella Luna, I wish I would have known when I was in my 20s half of the things I know now. I would probably be retired already. Now we are looking at age 55, putting the money to work for us instead. Exactly. And there we go. Putting the money to work for us. Making your money work for you is another way that you can retire early. The key is, how soon can you make your money work for you? So there's steps. So let's just say, for instance, you go, hey, I have this plan. Let's just use Drip Network, for instance, okay? Joshua Felder and a few others dropped to Drip Network crypto. And also, in case you want to check out Drip Network, where you earn passive income daily rewards, the link is down below, or search the channel for the Drip Network. Joshua Felder, he does an awesome video to help you get started. And there's also a link in that description of the video to join his team. All right. But it's passive income, making your money work for you. This is crypto. This did not exist even just 2-3 years ago, where there was rewards at 1% a day. All right. So just think about that. You now have different ways, because before you might have done stocks where there was dividends. You might have done index funds. You might have done different things that would do it. But now you have a third lever. You have crypto that can get you interest or rewards daily, like a Celsius Network and Nexo and all these guys. So that is making your money work while you sleep, making your money work for you, because you're working otherwise for your hard-earned money. You don't want to do that. If you want to retire early, you have to take these risks and say, hey, I'm going to do like Drip Network, or the #1 investment of 2021 from Professor Auntie Val, Strongblock. Buy 10 coins, change it into a node, earn 10% of the coin price every day, the next day. But nonetheless, opportunities are here that have never been here before. You can get to retirement much, much earlier if you're willing to take a risk. And keep in mind, it is a risk, because there's no way to know if these new things that have only been out a year, year and a half, are going to be around 5 years from now. So therefore, it has to be a calculated risk, and you have to diversify. How much of your money do you want to allocate towards that endeavor to earn passive income? Or do you want to go the other roads where I just talked about real estate, where you're sitting there saying, hey, I bought this property, it's worth a value, I know I'm going to receive money every month. That's pretty stable, low risk, right? Unless there's a pandemic and nobody has to pay their rent for a year, year and a half. But normally it's low risk. And so therefore, you're making your money work for you. That is the plan for early retirement, ladies and gentlemen. You have money coming in while you're 25 and 30. Now you're doing your thing. You're Superman and Superwoman. You have no problems. So again, let me know what you call retirement early. We had a few people that have chimed in, and thank you so much, Stella Luna, for that. Andy Ortiz is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. He has the icon, so he knows it's members only chat tonight. Thank you so much. And he says, what's up, SSN Nation? What's up with you, Andy Ortiz? Again, he can retire a little bit earlier, even though I know he's working W-2 right now. But he's already put plans in place. He has passive income coming in from his Amazon business. He is making money work for him. He's making an investment in products. He puts it on Amazon. He's getting return on his investment while he sleeps. Step 1. What's he going to do with those profits is going to be a step 2 and a step 3. So now let's just put it simple. Let's just say this one business gets you $1,000 per month. Then let's say he's using some of the profits and goes and rolls it into something else, and that next one makes $1,500 a month. Now he has $2,500 a month coming in, and he still works. Now he has weapons of mass destruction. The cash is rolling in, and now he can buy other assets using other people's money. That's the beautiful playbook. All right. So that's what he's doing. Just to give you an idea, Stella Luna, me too, but I feel blessed. I know now, and shared it with my children and young people. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate, share the love. Let people know. Only a few people will actually do anything, even if you tell them. That's how it is. I'm new here, but feel like I know everyone already. I've been watching the videos for quite some time now. Valuable information. Thank you. Stella Luna, thank you so much for saying that. And thank you so much for your support and actually being a subscriber for a long time and now a new member of the channel. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you for watching. Thank you. I'm very happy to hear you feel this valuable information. I appreciate it. Stella Luna, Vanessa, you are so right. I totally agree. I'm looking forward to teaching my daughter. Exactly. And just remember, don't get down. Do not get down, ladies and gentlemen. When you try to explain to somebody some of the things that I'm talking about tonight or some other things that you're doing, and you explain to them and they're looking at you with the blank stare, or they're looking at you like, okay, I hear you, but they don't even kind of acknowledge it other than I heard you, cool, and go on about their business. Next thing you know, they come in with, thousands of dollars worth of stuff that are debt or thousands of dollars worth of stuff that's nothing. And I deal with this with my daughters all the time. One of my daughters, they're straight up, yeah, Dad, money's going in this account. This is going in this account. She's got it all straight down, right? Retire early. All right. My other daughter, she's like, wants to, growing up in the Instagram era, and everything is quick, fast, and whatever. And the fame and the futures and people seeing you and what they think all has some bearing on something, even though she has all the skills in the world that she was taught from the time she's 3 years old. She would rather deal with how to create her retirement plan a little differently. And so these are the things. You never know what somebody's going to do, even if you tell them day in, day out, even if you run into your friends. This is why I started SSN Nation, Stop Struggling Out channel, because my friends, for years, I would be telling them, hey, think about this, do this, think about that. They go, yeah. Then when Facebook and all that stuff, Instagrams and all that became more popular, all of a sudden I posted up some stuff every now and then, and people would go, are you retired? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, we see, because, back in the day when Facebook came out, everybody used to post like where they are and what they're doing kind of thing. And I just thought that was what you were supposed to do. I was just doing the same thing. I wasn't even on Facebook for the first like 5 years or whatever. So all of a sudden I started posting because I saw everybody posting where you are, what you're doing. So that's what I was doing. I was like, here I am. This is what we're doing. Having fun, whatever. Hey, are you retired? I'd get these messages. Hey, are you retired? What's going on? Do you have a job? Because I was literally, out everywhere, all over the place. You guys are seeing some of the things when I run the promo stuff, but I was out everywhere because I could be anywhere. When you want to retire, you want to have time, you have to have your money working for you while you're off playing around. That's the beautiful thing, right? But what is retirement really? Is retirement where you're able to do what you want, where you want? Or is retirement kind of like, I'm going to do this for 30, 40 years, and then I'm doing what I want? What is retirement exactly? But the thing is, it opened up my eyes what people thought about retirement was, because I was just posting up. Most people, you guys know, I'm a California kid, so I live in Cali. So it's simple as I'm over in like Florida, right? But it's not a weekend. It's not like holiday time. And at first somebody would think, hey, he's in Florida. He's hanging out in Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Miami. He's over there for, it seems like, a week or two. But then the following week, they're like, wait, he's showing pictures. He's in New York. Then they're like, wait, he's got pictures. The next week, he's in Mexico. They're like, wait a minute. There's too many weeks in a row that this dude is out here playing around. So then it's the questions come up. Hey, are you retired? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not retired. I just have passive income coming in. I have revenues coming in from my money's working for itself, and I can be anywhere. I don't work at a job. That's what you're saying. So it all depends on how you look at retirement, because people would think you're on retired if every month or every 2 months or every 6 months you were in like 6 different places that aren't in your home state. Because remember, a lot of people may not know this, but a vast majority of American citizens do not even leave their state during their lifetime. We're talking something like 60, 70% of people. I didn't realize this. I just thought this was how it is. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, all my friends, they work at a job, they get 1 week or 2 weeks off. So how much can they really do in a year? 2 weeks off? What can you do really? You're not going to be hanging out where it takes one day to travel somewhere, one day to travel back, like Australia, for instance. You're not going to go on vacation for 1 week where 2 days is gone, and probably 2.5 days, because by the time you get to each way, when you get to Australia, you're sitting over there and you're getting to your destination. Whether you land in Sydney, Melbourne, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, you're going to your hotel, you're checking in, kind of relaxing. The flight was 10 hours or whatever. And you're sitting there like, woo, you're there. So you pretty much burn off 3 days. You're not going over there to hang out for 4 days. At least I didn't. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't. But the point I'm trying to make is you don't want to either. You want to have some fun. And by the way, who got a YouTube notification tonight and who also received and saw the trailer? All right. So again, 1 hour in, please smash the like button, which I forgot all about. And if you like what we're talking about, subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell. So all I'm trying to illustrate is, even though 20 years ago, I'm going all over the place and I was just sharing stuff, not 20. So it's like when Facebook, I joined 2009, 13 years ago. So that whole time I didn't post on any social media at all. 2009, we have a high school reunion and they go, oh yeah, sign up for Facebook, and they have groups or something like that. That's the only reason I signed up with Facebook. And so then, like I said, you're showing people this stuff, like this is your life is what I thought it was about. So I'm showing people. And then that's when all of a sudden I get these emails. What do you do? What's happening? What's happening? Because you don't have a job or something. I was like, hey, I've been telling you guys this for years. And some of my friends that I went to high school with, I've seen them. And I would always tell them, hey, check this out, check that out. But they would always be like, nah, I got this job. I'm cool. Yeah, okay, you're cool, but you've given up your time to work for somebody else. And so that's, very hard to deal with when you're at the end. All right, let's see here. I kind of lost it. So let me know who saw the trailer. Please smash the like button, just so you know the YouTube guys know we have somebody in the house. All right, let me see. You're so right. Here we are. Stella Luna, yes, then they can take care of you. Exactly. Vanessa Comagate, Auntie Val, hey sis, showing the love again for Professor. What's up, Stella Luna? Welcome to the winner's circle. Andy Ortiz, I like that. I might have to add that in. The winner's circle. I love that. Thank you so much for saying that. Oh, man, you are welcome, Brian P. Thank you so much. Once again, Auntie Val, let me hear what Professor Auntie Val. What's good, sis? Let me see. Vanessa, right. Stella Luna. Hey, Andy, thank you. Winner's circle for sure. I like that winner's circle. Hello, Willie L. Sneed Jr. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream with the members only chat. He has the icon. He's another new member of the channel. So I appreciate you being here once again. Hello, SSN Nation. Appreciate the knowledge drop, Eric. I learned something every broadcast. Thank you so much for that. Hopefully I'm achieving that goal, and I appreciate you saying I am, apparently. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here once again. Oh, man, go see Cal Worthington. That's the OG. Vanessa Comagate, that's right. I forgot he had stuff down in SoCal as well. Go see Cal, go see Cal, go see Cal, exactly. And even though he had those cool commercials, people were going in there and he would say, oh, your credit's not 700. I got something for you. You can take one of my used cars out there and I'll give it to you. Yeah, it's only a year old or so, but you can get it 17.99%. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I saw contracts because obviously we have to vet people. So I would have to have them bring in contracts. And when you see contracts and Cal Worthington's name was on some of the contracts, you would see 24.9, 27.9%. And I was in disbelief. The 20s was already a disbelief. But when I saw somebody with 32.9% for interest on a car, I was about, holy smokes, this is incredible. And so keep in mind when you buy homes, when you buy cars, anything on credit, remember, you're paying the bulk of the interest your first few years, depending on if you have a 6-year contract, your first like 3.5, 4 years is your interest. So the higher the interest, the longer it's going to take before that's your payment starts going towards the principal. So therefore, when these people had their car for 1 or 2 years, they've already paid the 2 years worth of the interest. So now the advantage came to the person that was taking over payments, even though it was still that high. The thing is, the amount of balance that was left was almost nearly the original, but still the person that took it over was feeling good because they're just like, okay, this car's fine with me. And they only had like 4 years or 3 years left to pay on it. So that made it advantageous for them. But anyhow, go see Cal, the OG of entertainment, the OG of he did internet type of videos before they came out. He was doing all kind of things with animals and going all over the state, all over the world, on top of airplanes, flying upside down, or doing all kind of stuff. The guy had an empire. He had his own production studio at Cal Worthington in Sacramento. He had a ranch outside of town. The guy had his own infrastructure built in. That's what you would want to do with your business. You want to have the production and everything in-house. You have everything you want to do. You have the assets, and now you're creating everything. So that's what he was doing. You guys, if there's ever a story about this guy, this is why the guy ended up being a multi-millionaire. And he started with like one car lot. I think it was one car lot and it was like, used to be a gas station. That's how he started. So anybody can start from scratch. Right. Service-oriented biz and meeting a need is a golden business. Exactly. That is oftentimes what they say. If you see a problem, try to fix it. And that could be a great business. Smash that like button. Thank you so much, Brian P. All right. Evening, Vanessa K. And by the way, since we're 1 hour and 7 minutes in and I was talking about retiring early, here's what it kind of looks like, because I've been running these promo videos. So I'll run this video. We'll start with number 1. The first one I ever did, the promo video. So you guys know what this is. Some people don't. Let me see. Agree. Yes. Friends about, I clicked on something. Yes, same here. I've tried to talk to friends and family about the power of investing earlier in life, and they think I'm crazy. Exactly. Especially the young ones. They want to see results now. Exactly. Unfortunately, that's exactly what's happening. And it's sad because of this social media environment where people are saying, hey, this is what I have. And how did I do it? I bought crypto. This is what I have. How did I do it? I invest in the stock market. This is what I have. I did Turo or something. This is what I have. Everybody has their little story about this is what I did, but they don't tell people how they did it in reality. Instead, they're actually showing you. And then, of course, usually we have a course or something down below. But the thing is, they're not really telling you how to do it. Unlike here in the SSN Nation, we say how to do it. And if you have questions, you can ask the questions on how to do it, and there'll be somebody here to tell you. I don't know everything, ladies and gentlemen. I'm always learning myself. That's what you have to do when you're an investor, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're trying to always be making money, like Mr. Financial says, ABMM, you have to study. Just like Cuban studies right now. People have heard of Mark Cuban. All the guys that are on Shark Tank, they study. They're not sitting around. And that's another thing that irritates me. You guys got to understand. Retirement is not this. I'm going to tell you what retirement is not. Retirement is not that you made $5 million, $10 million, $20 billion. And then you're sitting on a yacht, sitting in your living room, living in hotels. You're doing all this stuff. That is not retirement. I dare you to find me one billionaire, which there's 3,600 of them on the planet. So you got plenty to choose from. Find me one billionaire. Find me millionaires that literally do nothing. You know why that's not a thing? Because they are tending to their businesses business interests. They're tending to making money work for them. And when there's an evasion, like what happened in Ukraine, that means you might have to alter your investments. So if you're sitting out here having fun, not paying attention, that's the quickest way to lose everything, because you might have had your money tied up into something that's affected by this invasion. So therefore, millionaires, billionaires, they're not sitting around eating bonbons like everybody thinks. They're not sitting here in hotels, living there for a year, chilling out. That's not it, ladies and gentlemen. They're showing up at an office. They're showing up at a meeting. They're showing up. Warren Buffett doesn't sit around. Charlie Munger, his right-hand guy, who's equally like Warren Buffett, doesn't sit around. Again, I can point out, is he sitting around? Hell no. All right? Get your stuff straight. It doesn't work like this thing that the pipe dream of, oh, I want to be a millionaire and billionaire, and I'm just going to sit around and do nothing. That's not how it works, because you don't get to be a millionaire and billionaire by actually sitting around. You have already put things in place, like what I showed on the screen here earlier. Let me see. I'll go pull it up before I play this promo. But here it is again. They're out here teaching you two different things. Not them, the millionaires, but when you grow up. So remember, on this chart right here on the right-hand side, you want to get everything on the far right in the blue section. Those are the first things. Those are business interests, okay? That just gives you an idea of what we're talking about. Those are business interests in the bottom, and that's 1 billion, by the way, in case you can't see. But then next up is real estate. So this gives you the playbook. What assets make up wealth? And if you know you should have real estate, if you know you should have business interests, then that's what you should be getting on. Then if you know you have managed assets, I term, which is the third thing, third largest pie, that's what I term as when we're talking about wealth front. For instance, I set it and forget it. When I'm investing in index funds, set it and forget it. That way, those are managed assets. And in this case, they're talking about trust, because you can put your real estate holdings, businesses into a trust, which you shield it from tax man. The tax man isn't stealing your wealth. So you can shield it from that. So therefore, you have options here with the managed assets. And then you have fixed income investments. And those could be dividends from your stocks. You guys know we talked about Orchard, ORC. It's at 20% dividend right now. You should be buying ORC. You should be buying AM. It has to do with Antero Midstream. You should be buying SHLX. That has to do with stocks, but they're giving you 9% dividends. So there's a way you can get 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16% dividends on your money. Fixed income, stocks is the other blue section. So those are the playbooks: stocks, fixed income, managed assets, real estate, business interests. Those are all the things that get you there, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody has to start somewhere, but once you understand the playbook, this is why the wealthy keep getting wealthier. Why? Because, like I said, you're busy working 9 to 5 W-2. Even if you start your own business, it's a chore. It's hard. It's not easy. So you're busy doing that, but you don't have the extra income to make these big investments. Unlike people who've already started, they have passive income coming in. So they can use their passive income to make investments. And that's why they get ahead of you, because you're sitting there spending money on debt. They're sitting there spending their extra money on assets. And then when the stocks go down, or real estate goes down, or whatever, crypto goes down, they have the passive income to invest in it. So now when it goes down, they can buy more. Then when it goes back up, they make more. So that's why the wealth inequality gap is real. And it's going to get larger and larger, unfortunately, because the top 10%, they own more than 70% of the wealth. The imbalance is real. So we have to work towards getting there, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Think about it. And I almost forgot. So we're going to run a promo. All right? Number one, let's do it.
Come on, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, SSN Lifestyle. Oh, by the way, all right, here we go. SSN Lifestyle members, in case, remember I was saying March 1st. Well, it looks like April 1st has to be the launch date officially, but it's okay because I'm actually going to launch some other products this month in March. So it doesn't matter, but the official launch date, it almost works out April 1st because the SSN Lifestyle first annual business meeting party is going to be April 2023 anyhow. So it all works out, ladies and gentlemen. So anyhow, that's what's going to happen there. But we're going to be talking about passive income coming up, fingernails to go. We're going to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. SSN Lifestyle members, be waiting for that. And you can find out more. The link is down below for that. Okay. Let me see here. Golden, I think I skipped. Smash that like button from Brian P. Mentioned that earlier. Vanessa Comagate, hey, cool man. What's up, Wilson? I received both. Boss, okay. So she got both the trailer and the YouTube notification. That's a good sign. We got up to 10. We tied the record last on the live on Monday because unbelievably, out of all the subscribers, only about 10 people came to the live and said they received it. All right, agree. Yes. Same here. I've tried to talk to friends and family about the power of investing earlier in life, and they think I'm crazy, especially the young ones. They want to see results now. Okay, I did get that one earlier. And Auntie Val, Professor Auntie Val, got the notification and trailer. Uh-oh, this is good. This is very good. Exactly. We're building business machines. Exactly, Andy Ortiz. That's the way to look at it. Facts, Cal. The Cowboys' rates were ignorant, and he stayed busy. Nuts. Exactly. He stayed busy as hell. It was crazy. People would go, and in fact, I put my office, I would always say across the street, but literally it wasn't literally across the street. His fence to Sacramento Florin Road location was 100 yards away from me. One street over, you could see his dealership when you walked out my office building. That's how close it was. So I purposely put my office there because I knew what he was doing to everybody. And there's other dealerships that were doing the same thing. So that was the thing. Curtis Davis is in the house. Mr. Financial is here with the icon. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. And he says, good evening. And I'll put in his tagline that he didn't put in today. ABMM. I mentioned it earlier. Always be making money. That's what we're trying to do here. If you want to retire, have reoccurring revenue every month, profit every month. That's what you have to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Once you solve that puzzle, now you are on your way to retiring early, what I call it. And so far, I haven't talked about it, but 7 streams of dreams income. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. Very nice to see you once again. And he says, excellent content. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And by the way, anybody, any member who has a channel, I like to shout out the channel. 7 Streams of Dreams Income has a YouTube channel, so you should show him some support, hopefully. I don't know what his channel is about. I did look at it. He has short clips and videos, all right? But we'll let him build it up a little bit, and then we'll come back, and I'll be reporting about it more often. Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial, also known as Chili Davis. That's right. Pseudonym Chili Davis. He has his own channel and he helps people with stocks, crypto, other investment vehicles, and updated information throughout the day and night. The man doesn't sleep, apparently, and he helps you out. So you got to go check out his channel because he's dropped something that I believe it was SoFi up double digits. This is incredible. We were just talking about it on Monday about investing in SoFi, Affirm, PayPal, and all these other type of financial stocks. And unbelievably, going up double digits in the last 2 days. Clearly, it was a buying opportunity when we were talking about it. So that's the beautiful thing. You never know what information you're going to get. You got to do your own due diligence, ladies and gentlemen. looking into another potential passive income source, dealing with cryptocurrency mining, doing the research on owning a mining device like helium. Basically, your house becomes a hotspot. I've heard of this before. That has came across my path as well. My girls are wise. They watched their parents do the damn thing and took notes. Exactly. Exactly. Facts, Curtis Davis. Can a trust be made for overseas properties? Yes, Stella Luna. So you have a couple of options. Most of the time, you'll probably just do an offshore trust, which actually is better in my, well, I won't say what's better. It's my opinion. If you have properties outside the United States, then why not keep your properties outside of the United States? Hide it from the United States. Why? Your wealth is going to be tapped. So therefore, I don't want US to have anything, because they're going to be stealing your money even more and doing all kind of crazy stuff over the next, well, from now on. However long you're a US citizen, your money is going to be potentially stolen. So yeah, you should have an offshore trust. You do what the top 10 percenters do. You do what Apple does, right? They make all this money outside the US. Taxes, they do not have to pay for that money. They can keep offshore, and they can deploy all that money to the rest of the world. Income, profits, all go into their offshore account. So yes, offshore trust, highly recommended. But then again, talk to a person that does trust. In fact, I need to have somebody on that does trust. Don't you think, you guys? Because that is another asset protection vehicle, and that actually helps you retire early as well. Because when you don't have your taxes being siphoned off, that means you can use that tax money and put it to work for you, instead of putting it to work for your government that squanders it. Cash flow assets key. That's right. That's what we're looking for. Good night, everyone. Good night, Mr. Wilson Koo. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Love the video. Thank you so much with the promo video. Gary White is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. He has the icon naturally. That's how he can be here in the members only chat. And he has his tagline, "Good evening, SSN family. Let's get it." That's right. We're getting it tonight, Gary White. Thank you so much for being here once again. Very, very nice to see you. Wilson Koo says, evening at Gary W. Evening at Curtis D. Wilson Koo giving out the love. Evening 7 streams. We have 30 watching tonight. Oh, please smash the like button. You never know what's going to happen around here. Maybe one day YouTube is going to go, hey, wait a minute. We've been sleeping. We haven't been recommending the Stop Struggling Now channel for the last 3.5 years. Maybe it's time. Gary White at Mr. Koo, all love. That's right. Many people chase real estate first, but you must get the cash flow assets first. Could be crypto, stocks, or Airbnb. There we go. Another opportunity. Thank you for mentioning that Airbnb, Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial, because I dropped a video about Airbnb experiences. There's some of you right now who's sitting there. You're doing something every day, every week, once a month, where you're going around, maybe bike riding, maybe walking tour with a lot of people, maybe a tour of your city. You never know what you're doing that you don't think anything about. But you can actually put this on Airbnb experiences, and people will come pay you to join what you're doing. Maybe you have yoga in the park every Tuesday or 3 times a week that you just go do yourself. But now you put it on Airbnb experiences. You are now creating passive income for something you're already doing. Why not? I have a video on it, or you can just go to Airbnb, but search the channel Airbnb and you'll see a few things, including some other ways to do Airbnb with the real estate traditionally, where you do short-term rentals, because that's another way passive income is coming into the door. All right. So these are the things to think about. Now, let's go. I dropped it and there we are. Here we go. All right. Yes, that would be great info on trust. Yes. I actually have someone, you guys have seen her before, Darcy. She actually does trust. And the problem I kind of have that I feel a little guilty about is you have to study this stuff. She's paid thousands of dollars to study trust information. And the information that she would want to give you, she doesn't really want to give you because she spent so much money on it. And she could charge people for this. So therefore, I'm trying to get her on. So shh, be quiet. It's a secret, but no, I'm just messing. I'm going to get it on for you guys and we'll talk trust, okay? Real estate deals are getting slow to process because of volume being processed. Exactly. Exactly. Don't worry about that. There's going to be volume all the time for the next 5 years, I think. Agree, Vanessa. Trust info would be great. Okay, trust info we shall have. Ran into somebody talking investing today, and people keep saying, I'll wait until I get a few $1,000 to start. It all starts in the mind. Yes, see, that's exactly right. If you want to retire early, you can't come with this mindset, I'll get a few $1,000 to start. You could be starting right now, and you never know what stock is going to jump up or what's going to happen. Okay. Nobody knows that. Just like when we were talking 2 years ago about GameStop, and because the price was so low, it wasn't because we thought the thing would do what it did, go up to over $200-300 or anything like that. It was because it dropped so much in value. It made no sense that it should be $6 or $5 or $4. We bought it, and then a year later, all of a sudden, a short squeeze comes, and the next thing you know, we're making thousands of dollars because it all of a sudden goes up to $200, $300, $400 from a $4 or $5 investment in a matter of a year. So again, you have to be in the game. And those people who are saying, I'm going to wait for thousands of bucks, you only had to buy $20, $30 worth of stuff. You just gave up $3,000, $4,000 in less than a year because you waited and said, well, I'll wait till I have a few $1,000, when all it would have taken is $100. Think about it. 25 shares at $200, ladies and gentlemen, is 5 G's. All right. That's how fast it was. But we didn't know that when we were suggesting to get it. We were thinking, okay, it's underpriced. It's dropped damn near 70%. It makes no sense. But here we are. GameStop and all that. Same thing. We were saying get GameStop, which is GME. We were saying a bunch of the stocks that we thought were good investments ended up blowing up due to the short squeeze. We didn't know that at the time. When we got PSEC, and the PSEC was 17% on our money, it was only $4 and some change at the time. Now it's doubled. So not only have we been able to get that dividend investment reinvested, we also have doubled the stock price. So again, we didn't know that was going to double the stock price, but now if you invest in it, you're down to about 8%, 8.5% dividend that you receive every year. So these are the reasons why you don't wait. You just say, okay, I'm going to take $200 or $50 or whatever you have and start investing. You do your due diligence. Procrastination and idle is devil details of missing opportunity. That's right. I have videos about missing opportunity. The exact thing. Curtis Davis, facts from Vanessa Comegate. SoFi and Ford are under 20. Both are a steal, in my opinion. You guys do your own due diligence and check it out. I believe it's a steal. But again, people here like Andy Ortiz, he went in and said, you know what? I believe SSN Nation. He did his homework. He bought Ford at like $6.50, $6.75. So when Ford is $17 and $15, he's doubled his money. 100%. Gino Chimiente says sell. I sold. I bought. I doubled. I went up to 100. Actually, 200% is what my number was at. And I said, okay, time to sell. So again, waiting would have done you no good. You could have doubled your money, or parts of your portfolio could have doubled or tripled. So again, Ford went up 3% on good news of new EV division. Beautiful. Love to hear that. Facts, 2,500. Yes, missed out. Exactly. SoFi is shorted heavily. If they can't cover, the stock will explode. Exactly. Thank you for that. There goes some tips right there. If you know that it's shorted heavily, that means they're squeezing it, ladies and gentlemen. They don't want it to blow up because SoFi, Affirm, Afterpay, all of these are debt-related instruments that allow people to get 0% interest for 6 months, 12 months, maybe even more. Those are going to explode. They're exploding right now. There's another company that I ran across too, but I can't remember the name of it, that I saw lately. Eric, can you put Wilson Koo website in the chat, please? Yes, I can. Hold on a sec. let me just double check, make sure I got the right. It's quickeasyfunds.com if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. So here it is in the chat for you, Brian P. No problem. All right, there we go. Curtis, I have shared the real estate opportunities in DR with my family and close people. They can all invest, but no one has decided to take action. Stella Luna, you know what's funny? That's exactly what happened with me. I have many friends that invest in real estate, but they like bigger projects, right? So I said, hey, man, forget the bigger project. You can buy yourself a villa right now at pre-construction prices at 0% interest. You guys know how this works. And even those guys are like, well, I'll think about it. And then I give them the reasons why you want to have offshore. You guys already know the reasons. Offshore meaning because now it's in a different jurisdiction. Offshore meaning because if anything ever really happens to the US, like the Great Depression, you have another place that you can live that's not in the same ecosystem. So there's many advantages. Plus, you're able to buy things so cheap that even if they collapse, like, let me give you guys an example, because this is what everybody's afraid of. I'm going to buy property overseas. The price is going to go down. All right, perfect example. I stayed last year in the DR, and the condo was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, probably 1,000 square feet. I didn't really need that big of a condo, but it was 1,000, 1,200 maybe square feet, whatever. The point I'm trying to make, though, is the lady bought it in 2008 or 9 for $264,000. So I should round up 265 because I can't remember if she told me 262, 264. We'll just say 265 from now on. So she had a for sale sign on her condo. And so now it's 2020. Actually, it was 2020, come to think of it. So anyhow, she had a for sale sign. So when I talked to her, I said, hey, how much are you selling this for? She goes, yeah, it's a funny thing. I want 260, I'll call it 265,000 because that's what I paid for it in 2008 or 9. I said, but you can't sell it for 265. She goes, yeah, I know, because those condos, El Dorado condos, those are the first ones I stayed in. People can buy 2-bedroom condos there for 80 grand. So their walk to the beach is less than 5 minutes, even though she's across the street from the beach. Nobody's willing to give her 265 for a 2-bedroom condo when you can, for 265, you can buy yourself a whole big ass villa. You can buy yourself a villa twice her size, 2,400 square feet, 25, 26, 2,700 square feet, and live in a different neighborhood, even though she's across the street from the beach. The condos in her area are only selling for 120, 180, 130, 140. So she's way off the charts. So some people would look at this like, oh, that's bad. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? From 2008, I'll call it 2009, until 2020, she's renting out her property. So she has revenue coming in regardless of her purchase price. She has passive income coming in, and therefore she's sitting there saying, the first person that gives me 265. And that's what I told her. I said, yeah, you might want 265. That might take 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, next year, who knows? But I said, the interesting thing is you have passive income coming in for the rest of your life. And she goes, exactly right. And that's why I'm just going to wait till somebody gives me what I paid for it. But in the meantime, she's been making thousands of dollars per year passively from her property. So you tell me, isn't that where you would want to be? It doesn't matter how much you paid for your property as long as it's a passive income property. All right. It only matters when you try to resell it. That's the only time. But in the meantime, if you have revenue streams coming in, I want to buy the ideal scenario. I want to buy a $100,000 property that generates me like $20,000 or more per year. And over time, you will reach that because inflation and property values go up. Meaning when I rent something out, instead of it being like right now, let's say it's $200 a night. Well, 3 or 4 years from now, it's going to be $280 a night. So my return on investment is actually going to increase in value. So it doesn't matter how much I bought it for, but I want it to be low as possible. That's the idea. At least when I do real estate investing for these type of situations like the DR. And again, I can't believe how many people have said, and then none of my friends that are in real estate, none of them have joined me in the DR that I can think of. I don't think anybody's actually joined me. I sent them info, I showed them stuff, but none of them have actually joined me. They all said, hey, that's cool, that's cheap as hell. They're like, I make like $50,000 in a month. I could get 2 or 3 of these things. I was like, exactly, but nobody actually pulled the trigger because they don't feel comfortable. Some people don't feel comfortable with overseas investing. They feel comfortable with what they know that works for them. All right, Curtis Davis, if I listened to Eric about Ford, I should have bought more, darn it. Exactly. But it's okay. You were listening to your NVIDIA, your Teladoc, your all them other stocks you were dropping for people. So just keep that in mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you can hear some. Oh, no music in the background. All right. Hey, boss, I need Mr. Estasio's phone number. Got a client interest in the DR. Okay. No problem. You sent me an email, so I'll get it to you. Yep. All right. Let me hold on a second. This is for his WhatsApp. This is for the WhatsApp. Okay. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have to play a video because I have to tend to something because I did a deal and I need to get payment to people. And I'm going to do a couple of things right now that I need to tend to. It's live, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, we do business. Like I said, that's why we don't have courses up in here, right? Because we do business for real. I don't need your money when I have passive income coming in and we got to do a little bit of business. All right. So I'm going to play this video. Vanessa Comagate, I sent you his number via email. And Maria Barnes is in the house, has the icon next to her name, got that sorted out. A new member of the channel, a longtime subscriber and supporter. Thank you so much for being here in the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. One half of the Cool family. This is Mrs. Cool is in the house tonight, and she says, hello, SSN family. Running a little late today, but I'm here. Maria Barnes, hey, being here is better late than never. And I appreciate your support and being here once again. Thank you. And 1 hour, 38 minutes in, please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. Brian P., thank you. Thank you once again. Lots of love. I got a phone call of loan at 0% for 1 year up to 100K. There we go, Curtis Davis. It's going down right now. Remember, I told you guys last, know what's coming. You can get your loan products that you need right now at the 0% or low interest onlys for 10, 12, 14, 18, 24 months. Evening at Maria M. Wilson Koo showing the love again. Hello, Mr. Koo. Right on. Passive income. Better than selling, as Curtis Davis is saying, a property as long as it's performing at 20% or more. That's my goal. I always look for 20% or more off the investment. All right. So I'm going to play this longer promo video. This one's longer because I need to send money to somebody. So that's why I have to do this one, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned and let me know once again who received notifications from YouTube or who received notifications from who saw the trailer. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I wasn't able to achieve what I wanted to achieve, but it's okay. I'm going to have to actually turn to the right person because last transaction is like 2 months ago. So I just wanted to make sure we're all good. I think we are. But anyhow, let me know what you guys think retirement is. All right. We're 1 hour, 45 minutes in, and I've only heard from a few people what they think retirement means or what it means to you. Let me know what that means. Does that mean you're going to work for 30 years, 40 years, have a pension, come in? I'm going to tell you what it used to mean for baby boomers, like my father, for instance, who worked at like a Ford, a GM, a McDonnell Douglas, whatever of his time, or the military. They worked like 20 years, they have retirement coming in. Teachers work for 20 years, they have retirement coming in. So these are the type of things. Postal service workers then have retirement coming in, work for GM and Ford and all these guys. They have pension funds, the retirement money's coming in, guaranteed money that it goes up during the cost of living increase. That was retirement to them. They worked for 40 years, end up being 60, 62. Then their pensions kick in. The pension funds are 3,000-4,000 a month. Then the cost of living could be 2 or 3% a year, but at least that's 2 or 3%. So 3,000 turns into 3,030, then 3,100, then 3,200, so on and so forth. So they're actually, at least surviving. And then if you live another 10 years, that 3,000 is like 4,000, and you're retired. That is what retirement used to be. There was nothing wrong with that. But the pensions and unions and all those programs, they've went away. Also, you have to worry about health care. Back then, you had Medicare, A, B, C, D, whatever the supplements are, and all that. So that would take care of you. But nowadays, even they won't take care of everything. So once again, if you had one of these old pension funds where you just roll into the doctor's office, it's 100% taken care of, that is worth more than $1 million right now. Okay. People can't get those same type of retirement plans at most businesses. 90% of businesses will not have that plan in place. So again, retirement from another generation means different things. What does it mean in our generation right now? Because you're most likely not in a situation where once you're 65 or 67, you can roll into a doctor's office and be like, hey, I need surgery. And all they're going to say is, well, this isn't covered. That isn't covered. Nobody's going to hardly have anything 100% covered. All right. That's going to be rare, the exception now, not the rule like it was before. So now what does retirement mean? You're going to have some other means of revenue coming in. And a lot of it as you get older, depending on how you've taken care of yourself from the time you were 18 to the time you're like retiring. If you decided that, you're going to be on some drugs or alcohols or smoking or anything like that, well, the odds of you catching a health situation that's going to cost you a lot of money due to surgery, due to x-rays, examinations, some of these things may not be covered, or the medication itself. So therefore, you have to start realizing there's other things going on here than just the money. What does retirement mean as well? Because you could be in jeopardy as you get older. You could break your bones easier. There's certain health situations that are possibly going to come up, and you're going to have to sit there and go to a hospital or go to the medical facilities. And next thing you know, they're talking about something that's simple. And then there'll be $25,000, please. Does this cover you? No. Okay, well, your insurance doesn't cover this. So, how many days did you stay in the hospital from your accident? 10 days. Well, your coverage is only for 7. Who's going to pay the other 7 days? And oh, by the way, that's $5,000 a day. It's crazy. So think about all of that, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you need passive income. If you're going to start talking about retirement, you got to have a plan. All right, let's go. Okay, so we're going to keep talking about this. Better than selling. Let's see. Oh, wait, did I miss this? Better than selling a property as long as it's performing. Yes, we saw that one. A person controls income or can increase passive income when? Exactly. Being stuck in job does less for future. Exactly. I got notifications, sir. Thank you so much, Wilson Koo. I appreciate that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know. Anybody else want to put in what they think retirement is? I want to know about what you think. Put it down below in the comments if you see this on the replay. And on the live stream tonight, we've only had a couple people let me know what they think. A few people actually let me know what they think. And after 1 hour and 47 minutes in, I'll say again, if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. All right. Now, I'm going to have to do something here. So what I'm going to do is, once again, I'll even play another promo. SSN Lifestyle members, if you want to join passive income, SSN Lifestyle. That is something that I'm starting April 1st is going to be the launch date, simply because it all goes with our April Fools. It's no fools. It's not a joke. So it might have to be April 2nd, might have to be the launch date, because everybody thinks April 1st is April Fool's Day for some reason. So we might not make it April 1st, but April 2nd, now that I'm thinking about it. So anyhow, that goes along with our SSN Lifestyle business and promotions and fun for April of 2023. And remember, just go check out what there's to offer there, and you could earn passive income. You could earn residual income. There's ways that you're going to be able to make your money work for you. And it's not going to be any of these other things where people say we're going to do investments and then you find out that they're going to, okay, I have to. I have to. They're not going to be saying any things like this guy named Morrison who says, you know, we're trying to do some Tulsa stuff. And then you have people putting in their hard-earned money, siphoning off $10 or $11 million out of the minority community. That money could have been used by some people to make money on their money. But instead, you parked it with this clown. He made promises, making you pull at heartstrings by naming something as Tulsa. And then the next thing you know, nothing comes of it. And then you find out he's taking money out of the fund to pay for his alleged companies that you're not receiving any return of investment on, which is what the funds were supposedly used for. None of that's happening, ladies and gentlemen. All right. None of that clownery is happening. So we want you to use your money to either invest in assets, or you can use your money to start your own business, courtesy of SSN Lifestyle, that helps you get passive income. We're going to have Fingernails to Go comes up in March. So everybody who's on the Founders Club, you're going to have first dibs on the investment. Then it goes to the Premier members. It does matter what membership level you're at. And in March, probably in about a week to 2 weeks, we're going to have that first, but it's going to be first. I'll have it here because some people might be SSN members, not, but then the full blown one's going to be on the SSN Lifestyle YouTube channel. And we're going to start blowing that up, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So we'll have to talk about that. That helps out with retirement when you have passive income coming in. Auntie Val, retirement to me means my money works harder for me than I worked for it and for the rest of my life and my family's life. Auntie Val talking about generational wealth, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people squander away the generational wealth, but she's setting it up for her family. She's getting it. She's getting it in the end zone. But here's the problem. Most of the time, the rest of the family, after you're gone, they start picking away and taking away the assets that create that revenue. But fortunately, Auntie Val, I'm pretty sure, is setting it up a certain way. So that way she has that generational wealth after all this hard work she's been doing, and she makes it happen. So I love that. And that's what it means to her. My money works harder for me than I worked for it. And for the rest of my life, I love that. For the rest of her life. That is very key right there, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta love that for rest of my life. All right. So hold on. I'm going to have to figure out what I did for this. Oh, yeah, I remember. Okay, we're going to run one more promo because I got to set this up. And I got to do this because, you know, when you owe people money, you know, you don't like to leave them hanging. Right. Yeah. So I'm going to run another promo. And then we'll see if anybody else wants to chime in. And let me see. I'll do the newest one for the surprise. All right. Let's go with this one. This one.
Come on, come on.
All right, there we go. Auntie Val, Professor Auntie Val, Victor Moreau. Inside the private sector, you have to spend your own money to have a retirement 401k at the end. That never made sense to me. It's your money. You are putting your money, giving it into a 401k plan. And here's the thing, nobody knows who's actually running that plan. And then you're giving your money when you could have self-directed it yourself, kept all the profits, not sharing it as a group and not having it siphoned off. And somebody, it always bothered me when I had my 401k. I'd be sitting there and I'm like, these guys are sending me a statement and they'd say, okay, you earned 12% this year. And then in my mind, I was like, how do I know that? They're sending me statements, they're sending me paperwork, but that doesn't necessarily mean those are the numbers. It's not like I have a CPA sitting there saying, hey, Eric, I went through the books and they made 12%. In my mind, I was always like, well, wait a minute, how much am I giving to them? How much are they siphoning off? Are they making 12%? Are they making 2%? Are they making 1%? I'm like, they're using our money. Our money, all of us that work together, they're taking our money and using it and then telling us, oh, you earned 10% this year. I can't verify. So that always transfer house. It looks like the gremlins are back whenever we talk about this. So I had to transfer my. So as long as you transfer your 401k out, there's no penalties. There's penalties when you withdraw early. And by the way, speaking of that, hold on. I forgot about something. I was able to get my payment stuff done, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for your patience. I forgot I had something up here about here goes something of interest. This might interest a few of you. Some people might think retiring early means 55. How about this 55? An IRS provision allows workers who leave their job for any reason to start taking penalty-free distributions from their current employer's retirement plan once they've reached age 55. That's right. You guys see this, right? So some of you might think 55 retiring early is cool. All right. So I forgot about this whole time. So those of you who stuck around for the last hour and 45 minutes, you get to see this. And now you're sitting there going, what the heck? What the heck is going on? I put the bank rate. I put this article in the chat room so you guys can check it out. All right. So, and then I got to bring up something else because I'm not going to go into this at all, but lots of people didn't know you could do this. So I have to bring this to your attention. All right. That's a beautiful thing when you know that you can do this. And keep in mind, you want to make sure you have passive income, like Professor Auntie Val is saying. You're trying to have some revenue streams come in for the rest of your life, which now means you can pass that on. And now I have to break down the sad, sad news of what I've been talking about all night. Want to retire early? Think again. Some people consider early retirement to mean leaving the workforce at age 55, but most of us do not take this path unless you're lucky enough to have a full pension and benefits that kick in that early. There you go, such as full military retirement or from work as a police officer or firefighter. You'll probably need to work until at least age 67 to accrue enough money for a comfortable retirement. You guys ready to wait till 67? Are you ready to wait till 67? Of course, you may want to work even longer just to keep your mind and body active and possibly extend your life. That's exactly right. That's very important. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no such thing as just retiring and going off. You're going to have to work out. You're going to have to stay active. You're going to have to keep moving. The worst thing that you can do is sit around on your behind once you are retired. That's why you don't see millionaires and billionaires sitting around eating bonbons. You shouldn't be either. All right. Even what you think, okay, not enough retirement. If you're a baby boomer, you might have started your family late. Now that you're nearing retirement age, you may still have kids in college or just getting started. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. And you have elderly parents that you might need to take care of. Think about that. All right. That's why they're saying think again. Living longer than expected. I went over this actually. Life expectancy is listed on your Social Security statement. All right. So think about it. Look at this. How about this? According to the Social Security Administration, about 1 in 3 65 years old today will live past age 90. Oh my. That's 25 more years, ladies and gentlemen. 1 in 7 will live past age 95. So you thought I was messing around about that 30 years after you stop making money. You need to have passive income. 30 years is another lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. If you're able to live to be 60, 90, 95 years old after age 65, you just now created another lifetime. That's why part of the game plan is retire early. Fitness is key. What you eat is key. This is why you want your bones and body and mind to be straight as long as possible by doing the bare minimum is taking care of your health. Because without that, retirement's going to be a bitch. All right. So think about that, ladies and gentlemen. So their increased mortality, that's it. And bye-bye bucket list. There you go. The more you put away, the more you can pamper yourself in your retirement years. Sure, Cape Cod is nice, but what about going on safari in Tanzania, taking the Caribbean cruise? If you stay in the workforce, you could grow your 401k savings significantly and then live out your dreams. That's the idea, right? So keep that in mind. Think about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very serious subject matter. Let's see what you got. All right, here we go. That's the private sector that he was saying. That's right. I don't understand it. Nope, that's what trusts are for. Auntie Val, Professor Auntie Val. She says exactly. Eric, you talked about the trust factor earlier, and she's on it already, ladies and gentlemen. That's what trusts are for. Exactly. Vanessa, hey boss, we see you. Thank you very much, Vanessa Comagate. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You got to get around. Am I retired or not? I don't know what anybody wants to call it. But the fact of the matter is, when you have time, time is freedom. And to me, that is a form of retirement, even though I don't call it retirement, because I'm not sitting around eating bonbons on my couch. No matter what happens, I'm moving. I'm moving around. We get around, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you have to do. You can't sit idly by. You're always going to have that passive income. All right. So keep that in mind. Now, let's see what else we got going on tonight. Okay, let me just, I'm pretty sure I did what I needed to do. All right, got that email, Discord, down below in the description. Once again, don't forget to get your free stocks from Robinhood and Webull. Start your journey. And the other part of the journey is, why aren't you sharing your link, a referral link from Robinhood and Webull? When you share a link with and help other people, you also receive more free stocks. So why not? You have you have Instagram, you have a social media platform. I'm sure you know people. Send them an email, post it on your Facebook page. You know, they have in the back office of Robinhood and Webull, they have little images that you can use, screenshot it, post it up. They have a link for you to post. People sign up, you get free shares too. So you get them both ways. And right now, there's a promotion from Webull. You get a free 2 free stocks from Webull. You get another like 3 or 4 stocks when you refer other people. It's crazy. March 1st through March 15th. All right. And speaking of business, Um, Again, I have to say this again. This is going to be security issues for the rest of your life. So therefore, if you start a business, you probably should not use your personal residential address as your business address. You should get a virtual office. I recommend Opus Virtual Office because they have a monthly payment plan starting at $99 a month, which is a tax write-off. Okay? So not only is it a tax write-off, you also have it reported to your company business for your business credit. That helps you out in two ways so far. It also has your own private live person that answers under your company name. That person can transfer that call. So you have that. The line that a person calls in on, they give you a business phone number, which now you can put on Google and put on your website. So now a person can use that phone number to call in. They can transfer the number to you. But again, a live person answering the phone is a lot better. You have a business fax number. So now once you're in business and now you start going around and looking for funding projects, people will say, what's your business address? What's your business phone number? It all checks out. It's on Google. Your business website promotes you. You got to have a business website. But the link is down below for Opus Virtual Office. There's a code YG1. That's Y as in yours, G as in George, the number 1. That gets you your administrative fee is off of that. So your first month starts at $99. That's there. So there's several things that's a plus for having the Opus Virtual Office. But number 1 for me is security, because people out here are crazy. You should not be giving out your personal address just for everybody to have. All right. Just letting you know. Laverne Penix is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream where it's members only chat. Those with the icon like Mr. Cool who's in the house. You're right, Eric. You have prepared yourself for retirement. Yes, that's exactly right. You have to do that. What you're doing today, what you're doing tomorrow, what you're doing next week actually changes your life maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. All right. So you never know. Thank you so much again, Laverne Penix, for being in the house. I appreciate the support and you being here once again. Mr. and Mrs. Cool in the house tonight. Thank you. Much appreciated. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're 2 hours in, 2 hours and 5 minutes in. Please smash the like button. Let YouTube know we have people in the house watching the live stream now for 2 hours. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell. And keep in mind, live streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Only Wednesday do you have to be a member of the channel to be in the chat room. All the other live streams, you can be in the chat room, except on Wednesday. And also, members, you can always join me on the live stream if you want to come in and join me anytime. There's always a link under the channel, under the community page of the YouTube channel. Okay. We're about to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. I thought this conversation was very much needed, especially in light of the situation with Ukraine. The interest rates are going to be increased by the Federal Reserve this month. We don't know what's going to happen with the stock market, the crypto market, the housing market, all the staples of assets. We don't know what's going to happen with gold and silver, precious metals. Some of those you should be acquiring as well, just a little bit, in my opinion. A lot of people think more, but more importantly, you might want to start thinking about prepping. I hate to say like the conspiracy theorists, like the doomsday, but you might want to start extending your grocery list. What I mean by that is, instead of just having enough for maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, maybe you want to extend that out to where you always have 3 weeks on tap of everything that you generally have. We talked about this on Monday. Vanessa Comagate was talking about the rice, the beans, the water, things like that. The powdered milk, for instance, but you're going to need water for sure. So you might want to stock up where you have enough of these items in case, things get cut, like a generator, or how you're going to have lights. You want to have some way to be able to generate something electronically. So think about all this, even though nothing may happen, but the food you can always use, The generator you can always use. The American grid, electrical grid, isn't the best. All right. We just haven't been bombed. This is what I'm saying. Right. So, one of those, you need to think about the future. So, money isn't all part of your retirement plan. Survival has to be part of the retirement plan. All right. So, let's see here. Did I get all the way down? All right. So, thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And that's why we have to talk about the retirement plan. Those freedom papers, ladies and gentlemen, you need them. Get your freedom papers. There's nothing wrong with a little hard work. There's nothing wrong with sacrificing a little bit of your money and putting it away for something in the future. Granted, the prices go up, they go down. But over the long term, assets generally rise, and you see which assets the top 10 percenters are putting their money into, and those are the same ones you should be putting your money into, and then some. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.